All right, good afternoon. Another football season is upon us. North Carolina A&T will go down to Birmingham, Alabama on Thursday to play the UAB Blazers. Kickoff is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Once again, we are back here for our weekly Monday football press conference luncheons. So we welcome you, and we also have a new special guest in our head coach, Mr. Vincent Brown. He will come up and give us an opening statement, and then we'll open the floor for questions for the media, and then our players will come next. We have safety Ty Williams Jr. and offensive lineman Lawrence LeGrone. So without further ado, let's kick this thing off. Head coach, Mr. Vincent Brown.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a great day in Aggie land. Very, very excited about the season about to begin, the opportunity for our guys to go down and compete against an FBS program, FBS Stadium, what we expect to be a very talented team. We've spent the last month or so implementing our systems, our schemes, building on our culture, understanding that we're building this thing for the long haul, that our season and our program will not be defined by the results of this game Thursday or the game the following week or the week after. We're building this program for sustained success, talking about being elite in everything that we do. I think our kids have done a tremendous job of buying in. They've worked extremely hard during training camp. And now we're just excited to get on the road and compete. Questions?
Hey, Coach Brown. Colin Avery with the Scores. What is one thing you wanted to instill with your football program over the summer and going into the season?
Yeah, so we have focused from the very beginning on being mentally tough and disciplined. We don't want to beat ourselves. So we talk about constantly eliminating the things that cause losing, being undisciplined, mental mistakes, and penalties. And I think our team has done a very good job of transitioning from where we were during the spring to where we are right now, becoming a much more mature team that understands how to eliminate the things that cause you to lose games.
Coach John Johnson, WXII. For Aggie fans, the first game they get to see is team under your control, your run. What can they expect to see from this football team that might be different from years past?
Well, we're going to still have the same Aggie competitive toughness that's been on display. The thing that we focused on, though, is, again, going back to make sure that we're not beating ourselves. Dumb penalties, mental mistakes. Our guys are going to play hard. You know, it's going to be an aggressive style of play on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. And then we're going to focus on building the habits that we need for sustained success throughout the course of the season.
Just building on that, what's got you most excited about this football team in particular?
Just the opportunity to go out and compete. You know, our guys have fought hard during training camp. They've worked their tails off. I think, you know, we talked about the transition of new players coming into the program, and our success this season was going to be predicated on how well we integrated the new players into our family here. I think our kids have done an awesome job of making sure that that bond of brotherhood is strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on display on Thursday night.
Coach, are you pleased with the way that the players have bought into the system that you and the new coaching staff have implemented?
I am very pleased. You know, different style of offense, radically different style of defense. And, you know, our defensive system requires a lot of communication. I think our kids have done a tremendous job of understanding that, what we're trying to do, keep the opponent from throwing the ball over our heads first and foremost, you know, being tough and disciplined in the run game, and creating havoc when we bring pressure. And then offensively, we want to make sure that we're being efficient with our drives, not putting the ball in jeopardy, and when the opportunity presents, taking shots to produce points.
Your first game as A&T's head coach Thursday. What are you most excited about Thursday?
Just the opportunity to compete. It's been a long time since, I stood at the podium on January 9th. A lot of things have happened over the course of the last several months, a lot of new faces, a lot of practices, summer conditioning. We had more players here this summer than they've had in recent years. And now just to be able to go out and put it all to test to see where we are.
Another question. What is a matchup you're looking for towards the season?
A matchup that I'm looking forward to this season. Hey, one game at a time. We play every game one game at a time, one play at a time. We do not look beyond the current opponent. We tell our players to have short memories. The game has ebbs and flows. You can't play with emotion. You got to go back and rely on the fundamentals that you've been taught throughout training camp and let the outcome be what it is based on the things that we've instilled in our kids.
Coach, on the first depth chart of the season, looks like you got Eli Brickhelm starting at quarterback, and KJ White's going to be his backup. Can you just talk a little bit about what went to that decision?
Yeah, so it's actually an either or. We haven't made the final decision yet. We feel comfortable with both kids going in the game. We have practice today. We have practice tomorrow morning, and we'll see just what we feel gives us the best opportunity to win the game on Thursday night. Plus, we don't want to tip off to our opponents who's going to be the starting quarterback at this point.
Have you ever had a personally coaching experience with a two quarterback system? Have you familiar with that?
Oh, absolutely. And, over the last few years, we actually played with two quarterbacks in the game at the same time. I think both of our kids, Eli is a talented athlete, surprisingly fast. People look at him, but he can really run, so he presents problems. If the play breaks down in the passing game, he's got a strong arm, quick release, good decision-making. He knows the offense. And then KJ is poised beyond his years. You would not know he's a true freshman the way he conducts himself under pressure. He's got elite speed and athleticism and a very powerful and accurate arm.
As far as the wide receivers going, can you talk a little bit?
Yeah, it should be the wide receivers, or super freaks as they call themselves, should be a strength of our offense along with our offensive line. We got some talented kids that, with length. We got talented kids with explosive speed and ball skills, and we're going to find ways to put the ball in the hands of our best playmakers. And we feel really confident that we have 5, 6, 7 kids that can go in the game and produce at a high level for us at the receiver position.
Hey, Coach, what are you looking to expect from your preseason All-Americans?
To lead the team, to be that guy. If you're a preseason All-American, practice and play like that. We don't put a whole lot of stock into preseason rankings because all of that stuff is based on past. It's about the here and now and one play mentality. So, be elite. Be elite in your efforts, be elite in your performance, be elite in your preparation. That's what we expect.
Based on looking at the film, what do you know about UAB?
Well, there's some talented kids. The quarterback, Zeno's got good size. He's got a very good arm. He's athletic. He can make all the throws. He can extend plays with his feet. The running back, Jermaine Brown, is a very, very talented player. Great speed, elusiveness, excellent receiver out of the backfield. They'll have some new faces up front on the offensive line. Defensively, Fish McWilliams is a very, very talented player at defensive tackle. He is hard to move. I watched their game against LSU, among others, and LSU had a hard time blocking him. So they got some talented players. They have another 6'6", 330-pound defensive lineman, a 6'4", 260-pound defensive end. So they got some size and some athleticism up front. But I believe one of the strengths of our team is, the 3 returning starters that were all conference type players last season. So I believe our kids will be up to the challenge.
How many unknowns do you have left going into this game? Are there things that maybe are still undecided? I know you're going with 2 quarterbacks before maybe settling on one, or maybe you stay with 2. But basically, what are you still trying to decide as opening night approaches?
Yeah, there's not many unknowns other than what UAB is going to be. We don't know. The offensive coordinator has never called a game before, so we don't know if they're going to be what Alabama was or if they're going to be what Coach Dilfer did at Lipscomb Academy. Defensively, the coordinator's never called a game before. We know what he did as the high school coach, but most of the more talented coaches I've been around have always tailored their schemes to fit the talent of their team. So you really don't know. I think probably the biggest challenge for us is to be able to weather the first couple of series or so, the motion of first game, get a feel for what they're trying to do to move the ball offensively, and defensively, what are they trying to do, and then to be able to make our in-game adjustments to give ourselves a chance to win.
And it's a Thursday night game. I guess the luxury is that it starts the season. Your schedule isn't thrown so far off. Are there any challenges to it being a Thursday under these circumstances, or is it okay?
We look at the game day is just the game day, and we make our schedule adjustments accordingly. So Thursday night is no different for us than what Saturday night is going to look like. The travel logistics may be a little bit different, but we have our intense Tuesday practice, our Will It Help Me Win Wednesday practice, our perfect practice Thursday, our focus Friday, and those are irrelevant of what the actual day of the week is. So, our guys, I believe, are prepared. They're hungry to compete against someone else, and we're just excited to actually get a chance to go out and compete.
Coach Brown, what's been you all's and your coach and the staff's approach to this ball game? On paper, this is a game that you should lose. But at the same time, we want to come out and get off to as fast a start as possible in the season. So what's been your overall approach to this ball game coming up on Thursday?
Yeah, it's about us. It's we, us, and ours. It's not about them. And I've been a part of these games where you're supposed to lose because they have more resources, more scholarship players, more this, and this. And I've also been on the winning end of those games because it's about us. As I alluded to earlier, we don't know exactly what they're going to do, so we've prepared for a multitude of situations from a defensive standpoint. All the adjustments that can cause you to lose games, we practice those situations. Offensively, we've blocked every front possible. Our defense has brought every kind of pressure against our offense, so our offensive line and our backs and tight ends should be prepared to pick up whatever they do from a schematic standpoint. And so, this is laying the foundation for how we want to play this season. And the thing that's going to be most important for us is to make sure that we're disciplined and we're focused on the things that cause you to lose games, penalties, mental mistakes. That's the thing. And in our effort, of course, those are the things that we want to be on full display Thursday night.
Last year, when you were defensive coordinator, William and Mary, you all came down here and I beat UNC Charlotte. How do you think that the experience is going to help you all out on Thursday night?
Well, the games are won or lost up front. And we feel like our offensive line is one of the strengths of our team. And so if we can effectively run the ball and manage and control the clock, we'll give our defense a chance. If defensively we can stop the run, we'll give our offense a chance to get the ball back and produce points. So it always starts up front.
Coach, how long are you committed to a 2-quarterback system? Will it be decided in this game if one person stands out above the second one, or are you going to stay 2 for a while until you feel more comfortable?
Yeah, I think every week defines what the week should look like for all the positions. So I can't say with any certainty, one quarterback is going to be the starter from this point on. Every week, we tell our players, we evaluate every player, every play, every day, and then we make our decisions based on your performance.
With being a defensive coordinator last year, do you feel like the defense is going to be the strength of the team this year?
I would hope so. You know, being a defensive-minded coach, we have certain principles that we operate with, not letting them throw the ball over our heads, first and foremost, and then stopping the run. And it's just a matter of schematically how we do it. And as I alluded to earlier, you know, we fit our systems around the talents of our players, not the other way around. And so, you know, we feel confident in the kids that we have in our systems, and we'll try as best as possible to put them in position to be successful.
Spoke about not getting beat deep as far as, you talked about Ron Prunty, how he's been looking in camp this fall.
Yeah, you know, KP is one of our more talented players. He's had success at the FBS level. He's one of the best defensive backs in the country at the FCS level. And we're going to ask a lot of him. We're going to say, hey, you're supposed to be our guy. We're going to need you to rise to that preseason All-American, that FCS All-American status in order for us to be successful.
And then replacing the two inside linebackers last year, Taquan King and then with Roberts. So we're Wake Forest now. Who's going to fill in those roles?
Yeah, so, you know, we coach the guys that we have here, and, you know, we got help from B.J. Turner, who's a transfer from UNC Charlotte. I think he's going to come in and provide some tremendous play force defensively. We also have a true freshman, Cade Molitor, who's going to come in and give us meaningful snaps defensively. Malik Jacobs, you know, senior, big, athletic linebacker. So, you know, we're going to rotate the guys in that we believe will give us the best chance to win.
More questions for Coach?
With the loss of Bashir, too, and if I'm saying his name right, last year, who transferred out, who is going to take over the running back load this year?
So we feel really, really comfortable and excited with Wesley Graves. He's a powerful downhill runner, tough, competitive, loves football. And then to complement Wes, you know, we had a transfer running back, Kenji Christian from Virginia Tech, who has brought an added element to our run game. So we're going to lean on, you know, those two guys, as well as Charlie Dixon and, you know, true freshman Shamik Blizzard.
Any additional questions? Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you all for coming out.
We have with us one of our offensive linemen, Lawrence LeGrone. The Aggies had one of the best rushing attacks a year ago, and he was a big part of that. He's also a marvel in the weight room. If you get a chance to look online, you'll look a ton. So, offensive lineman Lawrence LeGrone.
Floor's open for questions.
How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me out here.
You all right?
Yes, sir.
What excites you most about the start of a new football season?
Just the opportunity to be able to play football again. You know, it's a blessing. Nothing's guaranteed. Just excited to get back to it, man.
Just the excitement for you of, you know, is it a tough transition going from one coaching staff to the other to buy into the new system?
No, not really. Coach Brown has done a good job with making sure that we all know that he's here for us and he's here for the program and he wants us to succeed. So I'm just very happy that we got a good coach like him to lead us.
Does it feel a little different, maybe from years past this year? Just you involved with all that buy-in, and I guess does it feel a little different within the football locker room right now?
Within the football locker room, no, it doesn't feel different at all. Everybody's still family orientated. We all love each other. We all love football.
For you, is it exciting for you guys pretty much are opening night of college football, prime time? You know, how special is that?
Oh, yeah, special. Anytime you get to play on primetime football, it's a good time. We're just ready to show the world what we can do.
What are you most looking forward toward the season?
Towards the season? Just dominating and showing that we belong in this conference.
Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me out here.
Finally, we have with us our safety, Tyler Williams, outstanding tackler, great cover man. He will join us now. Once he gets to the mic, the floor is open for questions.
doing all right?
Yes, sir. How are you doing? Good.
What excites you most about the start of a new college football season?
Honestly, just I would say the atmosphere, the energy. Just waiting for game day, knowing it's coming, and just knowing Aggie Nation's with us. That's the biggest thing. Our fans, man. I love the fans. So just seeing that atmosphere, the energy, the crowd, and just being with my brothers every day and working. That's the biggest thing about college football to me. Just working with my brothers, being able to play with them.
You talk about Aggie Nation and the tradition the school is known for
Yes, sir.
having a big-time defense. What can we expect from the defense this year?
You expect physicality, running to the ball, accountability. That's the biggest thing that we've prided ourselves in the spring and in the fall, holding ourselves accountable, making sure we don't make excuses, but just mainly being fast, physical, and flying to the ball and just doing our job and not trying to do too much. If everybody just does their 111, we're going to be a great team this year, great defense.
Coach said he was very pleased with the buy-in since he's taken over. How would you describe what that buy-in has looked like for you guys as a football team?
I would say it's looked very good. I would say the biggest thing is discipline. We've all bought into that. That's the first thing that he's prided himself and just us on since he's got here, is just being a disciplined football team. I feel like we've practiced that in the spring, practiced it in the fall. So just being more disciplined and, like I said, holding ourselves accountable. We have a mantra like, if you lose football games and it's always someone else's fault, if you make excuses and it's always someone else's fault, you don't love football. So just being accountable and having discipline, that's the biggest thing we bought into.
With being in a new conference again, what do you look forward towards in this new conference?
I would say the competition. Every year it's something different. Last year in the Big South, it was good competition. But now that we're in the CAA, we know what the competition is going to be bigger and better. So I would say the competition in the games. That's most I'm looking forward to.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you for coming. Please feel free to go get you some lunch while we get set up for our radio show at 12:30. Thank you.